Hi guys, Merry Christmas first of all. I got another Power Rankings video for yesterday. Let's get it started. Number 32, I get the New York Giants, still over 2-13 now. Get them at 32 from last week. Congrats, Lion Giants, you have helped your tank. You are still at the bottom of the league. You got blown out by the Falcons and Mega Penix. So yeah, congrats on getting one of the weirdest looking picks ever. And Kyle Pitts kind of handed you one. We're not handling you one because you obviously still to catch it, but still, what are you what is that for, Pitts? But yeah, you're a little closer to getting number one overall pick, Giants. Good for you. So yeah, number 31, I got the Tennessee Titans. They're 3-12 now. Get them at 31 from last week. They lost by 8 to the 38-30 to the Colts. So that same thing. The Giants, like all these teams at the bottom of the league, they're just contending for a high pick. They're just like try not try not to win so we can get a higher pick. Obviously, when some of these teams play each other, it doesn't always work because like Raiders played the Jags this week. Obviously, one of them had to win. But yeah, good on the Titans not winning. Number 30, got the Jacksonville Jaguars. 3-7 now with now a couple spots from 28 last week. You lost to the Raiders. You helped move the Raiders down all the way from 1-5 with one win, and you helped out your own draft pick. Is obviously if they're moving down behind you, you're moving up. Again, them a good win. You can finally, hopefully, get some help on defense in this draft or plus free agency because yeah, you need help on that defense. You just do. So yeah, number 29, I got the Cleveland Browns. They're 3-12 now, with the now close spots from 27 last week. They who did they lost to the Bengals 24-6, so they got blown out. But what are you expecting? Like, yeah, but you guys have a bad offense. Even if the Bengals do have a bad defense, sometimes even you can't. Even some offenses are still so bad you can't do good. And Bengals offense is just so good; it's hard to stop them. So yeah, tough loss, but it helps your pick. Number 28, I got the first team that won this week in these rankings. I get the Las Vegas, all right, as 3-12 now, moved them up a couple spots from 30 last week. I pretty much just swapped their spot with the Jags. That's really it. I just thought that's what I would do since they beat the Jags. Should have lost the Raiders because you lost 5 picks draft pick wise and hurts your chances of getting a quarterback because there's only two. This quarterback class is not nearly as good as it was last year. Like at most, there's probably gonna be 3 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, and the third one's probably gonna be in the 20s, and then the top 2 are probably all gonna be gone by 6. If the Raiders stay there, obviously there's still 2 weeks of play. Some things can change, but like, maybe one of these bottom teams play each other going forward. Maybe the Titans play Jags. I don't know for sure. But yeah, it's not gonna be tough for the Raiders to get a quarterback in the first round, maybe in the second, but we'll see. So yeah, number 27, get the New England Patriots. They're 3-12 now. Move them up a couple spots from 29 last week. Yes, they lost to the Bills, but they kept the close for a lot of the game. Like they had a lead for a little bit too. So it was like, and it's against a good Bills team. So they only lost by 3. Because of that, I felt like that was good enough to move them up, especially because all these teams around them are so bad. It's just like a lot of these teams are close on how bad they are. So it's just like it's kind of interchangeable for some of these teams. I'm like, who do you think's worse? So yeah. But hey, congrats Patriots, you're 1 week closer to getting some better protection, some more weapons for May, because May's looking good. You just gotta get him more weapons. Number 26, I get the New Orleans Saints. They're 5-10 now, moving out a couple spots from 24 last week. Congrats, Saints. You got shut out. You're the first team to get shut out this year. I saw that. I did not realize that no team had been shut out this year. Feels like somebody gets shut out long before now, but no, it hadn't happened yet. But like, hey, you can't really blame yourself. You have like nobody on offense. Like you don't have Derek Carr, you don't have Alvin Kamara, you don't have Chris Olave, you don't have Rashid Shaheed, you don't have Taysom Hill. Like, you'll literally have, like, nobody on offense. So, yeah, you got blown out. We'll see how the rest of the year goes and how if Spencer Rattler can show enough to maybe go with investing him next year. We'll see. Derek Carr does still have a huge contract next year, so we'll see what happens. That's it for this side. Let's go to the next one. Number 25, we got the New York Jets. 4-11 now. Get them at 25 from last week. Yeah, they lost, but they kept it close to the Jets. They could have won if they didn't go for like 100 fourth downs. And, well, they would have been. And if their kicker didn't miss that field goal late, obviously their guy ended up muffing the punt anyways. But still, if your kicker makes that field goal, it definitely helps. And then it didn't help that you kept thinking over 24 downs and not getting them. And you kept it close to a good Rams team. So I didn't feel like you did bad enough to move down, but I didn't feel like you did good enough to move up. So you kept you at the same spot. Number 24, got the Carolina Panthers. They're 4-11 now. I moved them up close spots from 26 last week. Finally got our team with a win. They beat the Cardinals in overtime. I believe it was 36-30. And that was by 6 because they scored a touchdown to win it. I just don't know if that's the exact score. It was 36-30. So congrats again, I'm going to win, I guess. You ended the Cardinals season, but also hurts your pick. Like, that's what I said with Raiders. Like, by you winning, like, your season's long over. Like, for the Panthers, you're glad Bryce Young is looking good, but you would rather lose and try to get a higher pick. At least that's what I would like, because, like, you're not doing anything else. Might as well just try to get a high pick, especially since the Panthers do have their first-round pick this year. They didn't have it last year. Yeah, good on them going to win. Number 33, I got the Chicago Bears. They're 4-11 now as well. But now close spots 21 last week. They got blown out by the Lions. Like, you kept early. You just kept on you scored a few times, kept it close, but your defense was just struggling so much. They couldn't stop the Lions. But to be fair, not a lot of people can stop the Lions this year because they got a really good offense. Even with all the Lions' injuries on defense, they can keep up. And then, like, your defense held them to 0 points for a while. Like, they didn't score. Lions didn't, but then on this, you didn't either. So, yeah. Number 22, I got the Indianapolis Colts. They're 7-8 now. They kept them at 22 from last week. They beat the Titans 38-30. High-scoring game. There's a few high-scoring games this week. So, yeah, Grassingham getting a win, but a little too late because your season's over as well. But you won, I guess, and you can say you beat the Titans, which isn't saying much this year because the Titans aren't that good. So, yeah. They're 21. They got the Dallas Cowboys. They're 7-8 now. With up a couple spots from 23 last week. Their defense is doing good. Just a little too late for them as well because they're also now eliminated from playoff contention. It's just, it doesn't help. Cooper Rushing, the quarterback, he's been all right, but he has not been great. Big Gun going to win hurts your pick as well, though. Just like, it's like, yeah, like all these teams in the league, by you winning, yes, you're being spoiled to some teams. Like, you hurt the big chances of winning your division, but you also hurt your pick. So, yeah. Number 20, got the Arizona Cardinals. They're 7-8 now as well, with the now couple spots from 18 last week. They lost to the Panthers, 36-30. So, yeah, congrats. Your season got ended by the 2024 Panthers. Congratulations. Sucks. You just need more talent. Like, Marvin Harrison Jr. has had some struggles. We'll see if they end up staying with Kyler Murray. Like, he's got a huge contract still, so it's going to be tough for him to move on. But, like, how he does these final 2 weeks will definitely affect that if they try to trade him. Yeah, tough loss to end your season there. Number 19, got Atlanta Falcons. They're 8-7 now, with them up one spot from 20 last week. They demolished the Giants. They're going to win. Michael Penix looked all right. He didn't look great, but it's also against a bad Giants defense. His one pick was not his fault. Like, that was all on Kyle Pitts. Like, what is Penix supposed to do there? I guess just not throwing to Pitts, but still, like, that's not his fault that I got picked somehow. But yeah, again, I'm going to win. If they win out, they win their division and get a home playoff game. So they have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. So, if they finish with the same record, Falcons swept them. So, yeah. Number 18 got the Seattle Seahawks. They're 8-7 now, moved them down a couple spots from 16 last week. They lost to the Vikings. Yeah, they only lost one score, but Geno Smith he had some really good tight throws, but if the Vikings cornerbacks didn't forget how to catch, this probably is a lot worse of a game because the Vikings had multiple potential picks that they could have caught, but they didn't. Yeah, it only been close. Now their final. They literally have to win out to win their division because their final game of the season is against the Rams. So whoever wins that one gets their division. So yeah, and then they play the Bears tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. So that should be a win because the Bears are bad. They start 4-2. They've lost 9 in a row. Just if they had kept as a decent team like the NFC North, they might have had 4 teams in the playoffs for the first time in NFL history. 4 teams in the same division making playoffs. At least I know of. I don't know how the playoffs worked way back in the day, but also divisions used to be a lot different too. So yeah, either way, tough loss. Number 17 got their division rival. Got the San Francisco 49ers. They're 6-9 now, moving down a few spots from 14 last week. They lost to the Dolphins, so Mike McDaniel finally got his revenge game against his old coach and Shanahan. Yeah, tough loss, but yes, so many injuries. This is kind of toss out year. Sucks because this isn't your window, so you hate to say that, but it's just now a lot of your stars, there goes a year in their prime. Now you have one less year before you have to pay Purdy. Trent Williams is getting a year older. Kittle's even in his 30s. Josh, and they paid a lot of guys, so it's just can they get much? Literally, all I can hope for is having more good picks because they're good at drafting and staying healthy, and maybe try to sign somebody. I don't know how much cap space they have going into next year, but we'll see. So yeah, number 16, I got the team that beat them. I got the Miami Dolphins. They're 7-8 now. Yeah, again, I'm gonna win. Still, somehow their playoff hopes alive, I believe, if they went out, but it's not very likely. Again, I'm gonna win. Tyreek Hill is done. I couldn't find a good picture of Von A. Chain, so I just put Tyreek Hill because Von A. Chain had a good game. But yeah, again, I'm getting a win. So yeah, let's go top 15. 15, I got the Houston Texans. They're 9-6 now. Hit them at 15 from last week. They lost to the Chiefs, but they kept it close. I consider moving them down partially because of the loss, and then they also lost St. Tough for the season. I feel if Deontay Johnson can figure out his whole attitude thing and all that, hopefully he'll be all right for them. But yeah, we'll see. They have lost so many weapons. Their O-line's terrible. But we'll see. Number 14 got the Cincinnati Bengals. They're 7-8 now, but them up a few spots from 17 last week. Going to win. They're keeping their playoff hopes alive. It's still very unlikely, but there's still a chance. So again, I'm going to win, keeping it alive. Their offense is still looking good. Their defense doing a little better, but considering how bad they were for a while, that's not really saying much. It's hard to do much worse than how they were doing. But again, I'm going to win. Number 13 got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're 8-7 now, with them down one spot from 12 last week. Yeah, they lost, but it's just I didn't think any of the teams around them did good enough to move. Any more of the teams around them did good enough to move in front of them. You're gonna have to listen to a bad Cowboys team. Just because the Bengals, yeah, they won, but I didn't want to move them all the way up from 17 to 13. Texans lost. I wasn't gonna move up the Dolphins up that high, so it's just there was no team where they moved in front of them other than the Chargers. So yeah, tough loss. Now your division hopes up to the Falcons, which you never like your chance to win your division being up to another team. So we'll see. Number 12, got Denver Broncos. They're 9-6 now. moved them down one spot from 11 last week. They had a tough in-division loss to the Chargers. Like, they had a chance of clinching a playoff spot for the first time since they won the Super Bowl. They still have a chance of doing it this week, but obviously you'd love to do it as soon as possible. That way you don't have to worry about that. A tough loss. We'll see what happens this week. Number 11 got their team they lost to. We got the LA Chargers. They're 9-6 now, moved them up a couple spots from 13 last week. Like I just said, they beat the Broncos 34-27. Same thing. The Broncos, they both have a chance to clinch a playoff spot this week. So again, them going to win. Having a pretty good chance of making the playoffs the first year under Harbaugh. So again, them. Now let's go top 10. 10, I get the LA Rams. They're 9-6 now. Get them at 10 from last week. They won. They beat the Jets by technically 2 scores. But yeah, both teams take your struggles. You had a slow start. Like, when you're playing a good team, like, yes, maybe you'll be able to come back. But when you're playing a good team, it's going to be tough to come back from a slow start, especially going to playoffs. The playoffs are getting close to starting. Again, them still getting the win. All you have to do to win your division is win out. Obviously, it's easier said than done sometimes, but still, that's all they have to do. So yeah, again, them. Number 9, got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 10-5 now, with them down one spot from 8 last week. They lost to the Ravens. So yeah, we'll see who ends up winning the AFC North. It's gonna be down. It's gonna be tight because they split the Ravens Steelers split the season series. Yes, Steelers lost 17, but Ravens are a good team, and I just didn't feel like anybody behind them to get enough to go in front of them. That's how it works. So yeah. Number 8, got the Washington Commanders. They're 10-5 now, moving them up one spot from 9 last week. Good on you. You beat the Eagles, yes, but that was they didn't have Jalen Hurts for most of the game, so I didn't feel like that was worthy of them moving up because he still almost lost to Kenny Pickett. Again, them getting a win. Pretty much clinch the playoff spot at this point. It's not official, but it's going to be real tough for you not to make it. So again, them. Number 7, got the Green Bay Packers. They're 11-4 now. Kept them at 7 from last week. It's just they blew up the Saints, but that was a Saints offense without like anybody on offense. So yeah, and then just like these top 7 teams, it's hard to move up because they're all looking pretty good right now. So yeah, because like the only team in the top 7 that lost this week are the Eagles, and you can't really hurt them a ton just because they didn't have Jalen Hurts. We'll see if he ends up playing this week. I haven't seen anything saying he hasn't, won't, but I haven't seen anything saying he for sure will. Again, the Packers can win and clinch in the playoff spot. Number 6, get the Baltimore Ravens. They're 10-5 now. Get them at 6 from last week. Congrats, you got big in the division win against the Steelers. Gave yourself a good chance to win the division now. If you had lost, your chance to win the division would have been over. Again, them getting a win. We'll see who ends up in the division against the home playoff game there. Now let's go to the top 5. 5, we got the Buffalo Bills. They're 12-3 now, with an outkill spots from 3 last week. Yes, you won, but you barely beat that Patriots team. You trailed for a while, so I just felt like that was enough to move them down a couple spots. Again, they're going to win. Doesn't look like you'd be like the number 1 seed just because you had to win out, and the Chiefs lose out. Chiefs will probably win their final 2 games, but we'll see. So good, they're going to win, though. Number 4, got the Minnesota Vikings. They're 13-2 now, with them up one spot from 5 last week. They beat the Seattle Seahawks by 3. Yeah, they barely won, but they didn't have three kind of 4 defensive starters because they didn't have Harrison Smith. They didn't have Ivan Pace Jr. They didn't have Fabian Monroe. He has started some games, so he's kind of a starter. They didn't have Jalen Redmond either, who had been starting for them lately. And we'll see this upcoming week how their run defense does with Ivan Pace and Jalen Redmond, both hopefully being back against a good run team and the Packers. So we'll see how they do. And my Vikings and Lions, both, all I have to do, whoever wins out, whoever wins out of those 2, if one of them wins out, I should say, because maybe one of them loses this week, and then the one that loses this week beats the other one next week because they play week 18. So, but they both have control their own chances at winning the number 1 seed and the division. Again, the Vikings going to win. Number 3, got the Detroit Lions. They're 13-2 now as well. Them up one spot from 4 last week. Gun them getting a win. Blew out the Bears. So yeah, like pulled out a funny trick play where they faked fumbling it and then threw it deep to San Laporta for a touchdown. The Lions were just messing with the Bears. So again, the Lions are gonna win. And they played the Niners this week, who a lot of people coming in the year probably thought that'd be determined who gets the number one seed in NFC North. I mean NFC, sorry. Nope, it could determine maybe depending on how the next 2 weeks go. But nope, the Niners aren't even making the playoffs. Again, they're going to win. Guess can't say the Vikings can pace with them, but they mostly can pace with the Vikings just because the Lions beat them earlier this year, so the Lions do have the tiebreaker right now, so they are the number one seed right now. So yeah, number two, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They're 12-3 now, with a down one spot from one last week. Yeah, they lost, but they didn't have if they lost to the Commanders, it didn't have Jalen Hurts. They probably moved them down at least one more spot. But it's but they didn't have Jalen Hurts. It only hurt them so much when they didn't have their QB, and they still kept it close. Not they got blown out without Hurts. But yeah, tough. It's now that hurt really hurts your chances of winning your division because if both the Lions and Vikings win this week, your chances of winning the number one seed are over. Doesn't matter if you went out because then both of them will have 14 wins. So then you won't be able to beat the kid. So and if you win, you have only 13 wins, and then one of those two teams has to win next week because they play each other. So it's just like your number one seed chances are pretty much out the window. Still possible, but it's highly unlikely. So yeah, number one got the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 14-1 now. Moved them up one spot from 2 last week. Congrats, you beat the Texans. You pretty much guaranteed your number one seed. So again, they're going to win. You got Marquise Brown back. He did all right. So yeah, again, I'm going to win. So yeah, all I have to do is win one more game to clinch number one seed in the AFC. All right, the Bills lose one more game. Either one will get them it. Honestly, if you're Chiefs, you'd rather win one more game. Probably not win out just because one-loss teams in the NFL never tend to do great. I think it was before it was 17 games. So a few years ago, they finished 15-1. I think it was. I know they only had one loss a few years ago, but I think it was before the 17-game season started. And then they lost to the Bengals. So it's just like it isn't always the greatest to only have one loss. Or look at the 2015 Panthers, 98 Vikings, or I guess 0 loss 2007 Patriots if you count it because they have less than one loss. So it's isn't always great to have one loss. But hey, still getting them having a great record. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a Merry Christmas.